Holla Chi-Town, Scream ATL, Shout Carolinas. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and Friends. We are in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and Friends. I am Laura Simmons and I am in the building, y'all. Oh, God, y'all. So, I want to first start off by saying thank you guys for tuning in to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and Friends. Um, please subscribe, share, like, follow, and continue doing what you do. Also, I want to thank God for allowing me to see another day. Um, some of you guys know my situation, what I just recently went through, and so I don't take nothing for granted. So thank you guys and thank God for another day. Well, guys, so I just wanted to say I was reading this article today and it was regarding the young lady from In Vogue, Don Robinson. She was saying that she'd been living in her car for 3 years. Um, a lot of people were, judging her and this and that, but honestly, sometimes I thought about doing the same thing myself. You know, because life, boy, this life that we live in, it's not easy nowadays. I mean, everything is so expensive. So I don't think it was because, from what I read, it's not because she's doesn't have any money or anything like that. It's that she wanted a peace of mind, and I truly understand how she feels. So but without no further ado, guys, I want to let you guys know I have two gentlemen in the house. Well, I'm going to say kings because that's what I consider our brothers as kings. And I'm so proud of them. I don't know them personally, but I'm just proud of them because, you know, this is it's not easy doing what you do when you want something so badly and the world is not, it's not set up the way it, for us like it is for the others. So I'm just proud, to have these young men on my show today. I have Marvin and Charles in the building, the owners of Leafy Products, guys, and I'm so proud to have them. So I'm gonna bring them in now. Hello, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Hey,
Hello,
how you
hello.
doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good. So, um, yeah, this it's a beautiful day today. How was it out there where you guys are at?
Um, Busy. It's definitely a beautiful day for sure. But busy over these past few months, man. It's just been an overwhelming response from people, wanting our product, wanting to hear about our story, and extremely grateful for it. But yeah, it's keeping us on our toes. Is we're learning along the way,
Mhm.
and just yeah, thankful for it.
It's good. And that's always good to hear.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, well, so who's the mastermind behind all of this?
I'll say both of us. That's what kind of, iron sharpens iron.
Mhm.
We always have been known to bounce ideas back and forth between each other. And again, iron sharpens iron. When you just bounce ideas back and forth, it might be one idea, but then the other person comes with another idea, and the more you do it, it refines that, overall idea and the thing that you see in reality. So I would just, there's really no real mastermind behind it. It's just
Okay.
that God blessed us to be in each other's lives and the proper team, because whenever you start any business, you got to have a proper team in place, because it is not an easy thing. So if you don't have the right person, it's definitely going to be some clashing. But when you have the right person, it's still going to be some clashing, but But it's gonna be something that refines itself into something that's well beyond what you could have even, or what we've even could have imagined, from just the ideal state. So yeah.
Wow, that's cool. So, starting when you started this business, what made you want to do tissue products?
Again, we were kind of doing our own thing. At the time it was 2020. uh I would say early on in 2020, I was in an accelerator program for, excuse me, a previous business that I was doing. Got funded for it, and was on the way to building out a digital platform for it, and scaling it. Charles was, you want to talk about what
Yeah.
you was.
I had a screen printing business for 15 years, and I also had invested in a trucking company as well. And then once the pandemic kicked off, I mean, it kind of shut all the screen printing down. Well, it didn't stop it completely, but it was very slow. The trucking picked up. Just I started tapping into the logistics field a lot heavier during that time, and then I mean, we were just having conversations in regards to what can we do, what else, you know, what I mean, what's recession proof, what can we do to halt some of these problems that we keep running into with our own businesses. And toilet paper came into play, and we put some work in behind it, started getting samples, getting things going, and we're here today.
Oh, okay. So, how long you guys been in business?
Since 2020. So yeah, right in the middle of COVID, right in the middle of the civil unrest going on, and just so happened to be the stamp of all of that, people losing their damn minds, or losing their minds over toilet paper.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of what, our light bulb moment at that time is, in the middle of all of this. Like Charles related to, we always bounce ideas and try to come up with solutions to the problems. So that was one of those ones where everybody is, you know, all over the place, chaos,
Oh
unleashed
yeah.
everywhere.
Hmm.
Uh, people trying to figure out what is happening with their lives. Things were not normal anymore. And in the middle of that, we were still thinking out solutions to problems. And um, when people are running out talking about, we Black community needs to come together. We need to, it's always been those moments where we always talk about we need to come together, but there's also those things where we need a guide to where do we need to start to come together. With people going out buying toilet paper for Charmin, for Scott's, multi-billion-dollar businesses, we seen that as an opportunity to, create our own, of something that's just so essential that, we use it every day. So that was something that would be the start point for us to bring community together. And that's when we created a social impact mission behind it, and overall created community with a kind of like a ecosystem feel to it. So
Wow. That's awesome because you are absolutely right. People was losing their mind. People was going online and the tissue trying to buy tissue online, and they was charging like $100 for rolls, about 5 rolls of tissue, and it was just crazy.
we
I'm
need
like,
that to happen
Yeah.
again. Now I'm playing.
The funny thing is, I actually seen a fight over toilet paper. It was two older ladies. They both grabbed it at the same time, and the one lady that didn't get it, she just pushed the other lady. I was like, oh yeah, they tripping.
That's crazy.
It ain't that deep, but I guess I guess
it
it was
was.
to them, but it was crazy.
Oh, it was. Believe me, I was in retail at the time,
Mhm.
and people was actually calling the store asking, "Could you put me some tissue on hold when y'all get it in stock?" Seriously.
There was layaway for
Yes, they were asking us. They told us we can't do it though. They said y'all can't do that. You can't put it to the side for them unless it was somebody we knew personally. They allowed us to do it.
Mm.
But
That's crazy.
no, they was like no because you got too many customers standing right here waiting. They was waiting for the trucks to empty, to get this product in. They was looking for that Lysol and some other stuff. That Lysol, the wipes,
Yep.
and Tylenols. Oh my God, it was ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, and you had the couponers coming out. A lot of the couponers was behind a bunch of stuff, and you know what they was doing with it. They was selling it.
Oh yeah. I found a few people that was heavy Costco shoppers. They garages turned into the store after a while. I was like, oh, come shop with y'all.
Yes.
Toilet paper retail store. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what makes your tissue different from other tissue companies? What make it different?
A number of things. I mean, it's one for one, the most obvious things. It's 100% bamboo, so it's one biodegradable. Comes with a number of different benefits. When you talk about bamboo, one for instance is it's a natural antibacterial property. Excuse me, a natural antibacterial property, which when we're rubbing it on or putting it on the most sensitive areas of our body, we don't really think about it. We just think, okay, is it getting me clean, things like that. But then when you really do a deep search of, well, now in these times, when you go all the way back to food, when you start realizing all the stuff that's in the food, like, man, what is going on? And in other places, it's more healthier than here in the US. We're starting to be more conscious of what we're putting in our bodies, what we're putting on our bodies. So that was also one of the things that led us to creating Leafy, and not just coming out with another toilet paper brand or company, but also making real impact. Not only real impact through our social enterprise mission, but real impact as far as our health, as far as cost savings when it comes to septic systems. We get questions all the time when people are saying, is it septic safe? I got an old septic system. And yes, it's biodegradable all the way down to our packaging, which is made out of sugar cane. So yeah, we've thought this all the way through of how you can save money in the long term, as well as not only improve your health, but also just think about your being more conscious when it comes to health using our everyday products. So I would say that the health aspect, the benefits that you get from bamboo, and it's just biodegradable and saves you money over time, is really what's setting us apart from our competitors.
Wow, sugar cane paper, huh?
The
That,
sugar
that
cane.
wasn't.
Cane packaging.
Oh
Mm.
yes,
Yeah.
okay. Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So you guys had to do a lot of research before you got started, right? Correct?
Oh yeah, it was. Listen, it was deep. It was deep. We were
It
going
got bad. It was.
We were going to Whole Foods, buying a competitor's product. We were going to Kroger's, doing pricing analysis. We were calling friends and family, sitting them down, blindfolding them, doing field tests. Which one is softer, this one or that one? We did it all. We was our own R&D, so we had to make do with what we had, and and when it was all said and done, we probably had a year supply of really terrible toilet paper, the competitors' toilet paper, everything just piled up in like a corner of the house that we just didn't plan on using, but just kind of testing. But yeah, it was deep. It was deep when it came to the R&D section of it.
That is cool though. You guys are out of Ohio though, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, are you born and raised there, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yep.
So, how long you guys been knowing each other as friends and stuff? I mean,
it's
high school, a little after high school.
a little after high school when it started. It kind of started. We were all going to the same gym. And he was kind of inquiring, man, like how do you play so good? I was handing out.
No, hey, hey, listen.
I was handing out
Don't
work.
even see. Hey, you try to flip it right now. Nah, We used to hoop at Lifetime Fitness. I used to cook him, and he'd be like, "Bruh, I don't know what to do with you. I can't guard you. This is crazy."
God.
So that's where the real, you know, man. And I had to put him to the side. We did some training sessions. I got him together. He all right.
Listen, let him tell it. Yeah, he'll tell that for sure. But nah, I did not go that way.
You tripping. Yeah, right.
You know, there's 3 sides to every story, right?
Right.
Okay.
And I'm telling the truth. He got the lie. He got all the lies over there.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
what in your future vision do you have for your company?
I mean, from just when we thought about this whole thing, we specifically thought about branding. So when you look at the branding, you don't really tie it down to just one product of toilet paper. We see this as being a multitude of or various product lines that could potentially come out that we plan on coming out with. We plan on having Leafy be a household name as far as toilet paper, paper towels, facial tissues, hand towels, napkins, whatever paper product, you name it. We plan on coming out with it. And we have some big news that's coming up as far as, you know, tying back to our mission. As far when you talk about, you know, our mission has always been to elevate and educate the community on biodegradable products and giving back to businesses that may have been struggling during COVID times, things like that. But now, not necessarily struggling, but giving back in a way that it could potentially help them with a expense that they don't have to worry about. But we plan on launching here in the near future crowd equity because due to the overwhelming, viral success that we've been experiencing, we don't just want to grow the company. And now you see Leafy as a big company, and I've known them, since they were a smaller company. We want to, again, reach back to our community that ties back to our mission and create an equity crowdfund campaign that will allow our everyday people to invest at small numbers, a couple $100 to whatever tier, and then come along with us on this journey as we grow this to this household name that's a national brand. So we plan on launching that here in the next couple weeks, next month. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that, but we're going fast with it. We have some things in order that are, again, taking us to a national brand. We're already supplying a number of hotels, resorts across the country, businesses, and now, our e-commerce sector as well, for subscribers and subscriptions going out to straight to your door. So it's a number of things that's in the pipeline for Leafy.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I was just getting ready to ask you, was you coming out with other products, and what was the plan? Because I actually went on the website on one of the. I just actually typed y'all name up into the system to look to see if I could find y'all tissue, and I seen it online, and I said, "Oh wow." And so I was like, and I was looking at some of the other companies, and I noticed that they had mouthwash and stuff like that. So it'd be nice if they come out with those different things too. So so yeah, that's cool. I like that. I seen that Marvin had a dream about.
Not Martin, it was Marvin this time, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, I had a dream about it, and yeah, Chuck, man, like I said, we would always bounce ideas, but at this specific moment, it might have been inconvenient for Chuck for me to call him at 3 a.m. about my dream of toilet paper. I mean, consider, I don't, still to this day, I'm like, why was that on my mind at 3 a.m? It could have been, I don't know what I ate that day. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. I think he had to go to the bathroom, and he was like, "Man, I need some toilet paper."
I don't know why I woke up at 3 a.m. thinking about toilet paper, but it was on my mind. Kind of took some notes at that point in time, and then went back to sleep. But as I woke up, it was still on my mind. So I just knew at that point it was something to pursue, and that he was the first call. Like as soon as I wiped the sleep out of my eyes, hey, Chuck, I might have something that we could do together. So yeah.
Well, let me say this to you. when you have dreams like that, it's usually God talking to you. That's what that usually means.
Yeah.
When I wrote my first book by myself, Little Sisters Listen Up, I did the same thing. God woke me up every night for the whole year at 2 a.m. And
Mm.
so that's what he was telling you. He wanted you to do this. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a higher power that that
Sure.
gave you the idea.
For
And
sure.
it's so funny because I'm gonna tell you this: the first time God gave me a vision, I didn't follow through on that vision. And when I didn't follow through, God gives you the vision to somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So what he did was he passed the vision on to somebody else, and that person has now become a multimillionaire from it. The ideal
Mm.
that he had gave me, but I didn't do. I sat on it instead of carrying it out.
Wow.
So you said never again. I'm
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. Right.
For sure.
So every
Yeah.
time when he give me a dream now, I just okay. So Lord, you're gonna have to show me to give me directions on how I'm supposed to do this. And so
Yeah.
when he gave me the vision of the book, I still didn't understand it at first because it was a whole year. I was every morning I was waking up 2 a.m. He was waking me up 2 a.m. I'm writing these notes in this little book. I had this little notepad right next to my bed, and I'm writing these notes down. And I just, when I was finished, when the year was finished, when he was through with me, I took the notepad to the hospital to visit my sister. And when I took the notepad to the hospital to visit her, I said, "Yeah, I got these notes. I don't know what to do with them." So she asked me, "Could she read it?" So she started reading. She said, "Sis, this is a book." She said, "You're
Mhm.
supposed to take this and write it into a book." I said, "Well, how am I going to write it into a book? This all over the place, though. Words was every which way because I didn't know. I didn't know what it was for. I just knew that he was giving me stuff every morning. He was waking me up, and I'm writing this stuff down, but I didn't know what it meant. And
Mhm.
I happened to carry it out and did what I was supposed to do with it. She told me what to do, and I prayed on it, and he gave me directions. So yeah, when you get dreams, when you have dreams like that, follow through on them because just like what you did, because there's something bigger that's coming for you.
For
Right.
sure.
Right.
Believe that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's good that you
Word. That's
carried
a
it and
word for
carried.
the day right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good that you carried out the vision that he had given you because yeah, somebody else would have got your vision and then you'd be like, dang, you know what, man? I had a dream about that and I didn't even follow through. Now
Right.
lucky you ain't had no dream like Martin had though.
Man,
Yeah.
listen.
But I was gonna ask you guys this. I noticed that on the picture that you guys sent to me, it was three guys on there. So who
Mhm.
is the third guy?
Our partner DeAndre Martin, he's still with us. He manages a few different restaurants as well. So he's more of he's always been with us from the beginning. So he's more of like kind of helping us out with those wholesale accounts when it comes to restaurants and things like that. So
Okay.
mhm.
Okay, so what type of advertisement do you guys do for your company to get it out there more?
Right now, it's just natural. It's word of mouth. I mean, we just reached a point to where it just kind of took off just recently. I mean,
Mhm.
we had a marketing team for us for a while, and I mean things were going smooth, and I mean it was consistent, but we didn't. This blow up just happened like literally within the past month.
Right.
So it's really just been word of mouth. Yeah, just word of mouth, honestly, right now.
Well, if y'all ever need an actor to do a commercial for y'all, give me a call. I got y'all.
Yeah, I seen you were an actress as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I got y'all.
okay,
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
uh, oh, tell people where they can find your tissue at.
You can find it at our website www.getleafyproducts.com. GET Leafy LEAFY products PRODUCTS.com. or any one of our social media handles from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, is the same at Get Leafy Products. So you can find us there. Yeah, and pretty much everything or updates is going through our Instagram right now. So at Get Leafy Products, that's where you can find us and stay up to date on everything.
Okay. So, so somebody wanting to get started in a business, what advice would you
Mhm.
give them?
Uh, Go ahead,
I
Chuck. Go
would,
ahead.
um, I would say even all right. I've started a couple businesses, so I would say, man, don't be scared. You gonna mess up, flat out. I think that's the first thing. I think when I first started my first business, I was so focused on perfection that I messed up all the time, and I thought it was. I thought I failed. I thought the business was dead. I think if you go in, if you start a business, just go into it open, knowing that I'm about to learn every single day, every single step, every single. It's going to be some problems, and it may be some good problems, but there it's going to come. I think a lot of people go into business thinking, all right, it's about the money, money, money. You got to have a little passion behind what you want to do before you try to start a business.
Yep.
Because, I mean, some days you'll sit back and be like, man, it might be easy for me to just go to work. Because, you know what I mean? Sometimes you'll make some money and it's going straight to bills. It's going straight to this. It's going straight to that. And I just say, man, just with starting a business, definitely make sure your structure is on point out the gate, which is not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say, it's going to be on point as soon as you walk out the door. Like, it's not. But be open to adjust, be open to change, be open to brand new opportunities. Just be open and be ready for some mistakes while you're open. That's what I would say. Entrepreneurship was scary for me. I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. I got through into it. I actually just ran into a perfect situation, and I got thrown to the big dogs like instantly. And I was like, oh, I ain't ready. I remember I got like I said, I started a screen printing company back in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And I had all the equipment, I had everything, I had the warehouse, but I didn't know how to screen print. So I had everything you needed to screen print, but I didn't know how to print. And I remember I got my first order and I was freaking out. Like, man, if I mess these people's stuff up, they'll never come back. They'll never do this. They'll never do that. And I had an open conversation with them. Like, listen, this is my first time. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't know what I'm doing. If y'all want to work with me, cool. I gave them the biggest discount I could give them. And it actually worked out. And I was just like, oh, all right, just be honest with yourself about where you at and what you're doing. And then it allowed it to grow. So it kept me open to be like, all right, let's have these conversations. But then there were times like I received an order from Hillary Clinton. And that wasn't nothing to play with. I'm like, they don't want no mistakes. So there's times that you got to lock in and get it done the right way because that opportunity is there. So it's just, yeah, be open. Don't have no kids yet. and I mean, if you got a spouse or a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, just be open with it. I mean, communicate with them that what you're chasing. And I think it'll work out, but don't be scared to fail though, because you are gonna fail. That's business. Failing, and who's gonna keep going?
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. If you keep going, that's when you gotta get. That's when you know you're an entrepreneur. But if you quit, you ain't no entrepreneur. You just tried something and you went back to work. So
yeah, that's good. That's good advice. Do it scared. Basically, is what you
yeah,
said.
100%.
Just do it scared.
Yeah.
What's your
Well, it's probably like to piggyback off of his though too is just really go into it with a passion for something. Like find out what it is you love to do, but really think about it though, because sometimes it might not necessarily be you're passionate in a thing. Like I won't say I'm necessarily passionate in toilet paper. I'm passionate. I'm passionate in finding solutions to problems. I like to create solutions to problems. I like every business I've started, everything I've done, whether that's just helping somebody, I'm always looking for a new process to a current or old process, whatever it is. But also, in that you want to stay consistent because, like Chuck said, um, you can't go into it thinking I'm gonna do this perfect, man. You're gonna fail every single day. Business is all about accepting that you're gonna not necessarily fail, you're gonna learn every single day. You're gonna go through it, and even if it may look good and you're excited one day, you still gotta have that even keel. Like, you can't be too excited, you can't
Mm-hmm.
be too low. When things get low, you gotta be like, all right, bet this is a great day. All right, bet we messed up this day, we're gonna figure it out and keep pushing. So it's one of those things that you gotta, you gotta stay consistent, be passionate, and really, um, just stick with it. Be persistent, like with what it is you're doing. It's a journey. It's a marathon. Not to quote, Nipsey and them, but it's definitely a marathon. There's nothing that's gonna come overnight. Um, you know, Overnight success is usually 10 years in the making, for real. So what people might see is happening right now, are they blowing up? Nah, this was
Nah.
happening 10 years
Yeah.
ago, man. We was trying to figure this thing out, felling, clashing, about to fight, hand like, man,
Man.
back up. But we come together and like, all right, man, we need to straighten up. We need to figure this out, come
Yeah.
through it, get through it, and then keep pushing. And then, a day later, week later, we look back, and it's just those small victories that keep you. It's not necessarily the highlights, it's the small victories of, damn, we got through that tough time when we couldn't see a light at the end of the tunnel. It's those right there that keep you pushing and give you more fuel to be like, we got this for real.
Yeah.
So just
Mhm.
just go into it, like you said, an open mind,
Mm-hmm.
persistent, going through it, knowing it's going to be a journey,
Right.
and really finding something that you're passionate about. Because in them rough times, it is going to force you to try to give it. I feel like that's God saying, you for real, you really want
Yeah.
to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to test you. He's going to send some stuff to you to test you to see if you really feel qualified to be what it is he's placing in your lap. It ain't going to be something that, oh, he's telling me I'm going to be this. He might give you that end goal of, yo, this is what this can be. But right, you got to kind of bring yourself right back to it. Like, all right, so now how do I get there? And then that's when you're going to go through everything that may seem like it's against you, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really just refining you into the person that you're supposed to be to receive what it is he told you was going to have. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that is so true. What Charles said about the beginning.
Mhm.
If you getting into something because you think you're gonna make a whole bunch of money, then you need to pass.
Mhm.
Just keep going because
Yeah.
it all starts out. It's a process. It's a
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
process, and you gotta love what you're doing. First of all, you gotta have some kind of compassion for it. You gotta have something that you like about doing that, doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it can't be just about the money, because
Right.
if not, because the money gonna come. if
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
if you do it the right way, the money gonna come. You
Mhm.
can't worry about, well, if so and so gonna support me, is this person gonna support me, is that person. You can't worry about that, because guess what,
Mm-hmm.
just like Tyler Perry said, he said when he first started doing his film, his stage plays, he had 35 people that was there on that at his shows. He said he knew all 35 of those people, and this went on for years. It took him some years before he got to where he's at. He
Mhm.
said, and one day it was really, really cloudy outside, and he said that he remembered his one of his producers came in there, and he said to him that, have you looked out the window? He said, oh Lord, what the Lord done did to me now? He said,
Yeah.
oh Lord, I just gave up all my income tax money and this and that, yada yada. He said, no, did you look out the window? And
Mhm.
he still hadn't figured out what he was talking about. He said, just look out the window. He finally looked out the window, and the line was wrapped around the building. And he
Yeah.
said, it just happened. And so that's what I'm saying. You know, it can't be, you can't go into it thinking, well, I'm going to be a millionaire. And you can't go into it thinking like that. You have to think about, okay, so is this going to change somebody's life? Is this something good for this person? You know, or whatever the case may be. Do I like doing this? Because if you don't like doing this, you might as well go back to a regular 9-to-5 job. You know, because I'm sure you don't really like doing that.
Man,
I go back to all the stories of my 9-to-5s. Listen, they got tired of me. I remember I tell people this story all the time, even in my previous business. Well, before that, I had to get funding to start my previous business. So I was working at Chase, which is kind of like it's like it comes back together. But I was working at Chase, and this was during the Obama era where, you know, the shirts were going crazy. And I like, you know, I design. Chuck is in screen print too. So I was designing like Obama shirts and going to all these different events selling the shirts. Well, I made like, you know, I made like a nice amount of money. But then I was working at Chase too. I had my cubicle. Something gave me the bright idea to turn my cubicle into a corner store. So I had Obama shirts just lined around my cubicle. I wasn't doing no more Chase work. I'm sorry, but I had a line. I want that shirt. Let me see that. What size you got in that? Yeah. And my manager said, "Hey, yeah.
It's time for you to go, bro.
Pack up everything you got."
He told you that?
That was it. That was my last day. I was like, "Oh, okay, man."
Wow.
So
you did like brother man, huh?
I had enough to start that business. And it's funny though, because all of this happened at Chase, but then the video that kind of went viral through Success and all of these different platforms was with Chase doing the national feature on us. So that's crazy right there, how they kind of came back full circle. Even though they cut me loose, I was actually trying to show them like, hey, listen, I can be an entrepreneur and help y'all on different processes, even though they're a multi-billion-dollar business, international. But I was just trying to sell shirts around my cubicle at the time.
What? Tell me, we always gonna try to figure out a side hustle, man.
That's crazy.
That is funny. All I could think about, I'm gonna tell you what was in my mind when you was talking about the t-shirts. Do you remember that episode of Martin when Brother Man from the Fifth Floor was selling those t-shirts of Whitney Houston, but it had Whitney
Houston. It was Whitney Hooten or something like that. Yeah, man.
Listen, man. Yeah, I was that. I was definitely. Listen, it got so bad that I was leaving I was going on a bathroom break. I had a stack of stuff. I was doing like mortgage stuff, so I like left the stuff on my desk and going to the next floor, showing different sizes of the shirt. I think about that now, like, man, I lost it. At that point, I think I checked out. Like, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It was time for you to move on. Oh my goodness. What about you, Charles? You got a story like that?
Man, I don't even. It's a few jobs probably like, hey man, we want our bread back. You was scammed, man. I remember it wasn't my first job. It was I got a job at Limited Brands. I was getting it to pay for prom, and man, I was working there. Everything was good, and then the prom was over. They had us on like mandatory overtime. And I'm a senior in high school. Man, it was like we went on lunch, and it was just sunny outside. It was nice. I'm like, man, I can't even enjoy this. What am I doing here? I just dapped everybody up and left. I'm like, hey man, I'm out. I quit. And then I ain't gonna lie, I went to college like 2 months later, man, and I was so broke. I was like, I called them like, yo, your hiring still there? Like, bro, you left at lunch. You don't bring your ass out.
You went back to the same job?
Yeah, I was just curious on the
Nah, so I went to OU. I went to OU and I came back and I needed a job. I was so broke. I was like, man, I need some money. And I asked him, like, man, I was good. I just ain't want to work that day. I should have told you I was sick or something. I was young and dumb, just left. I was like, I'm out. I can't do this.
He said I left, and
yeah, I just left.
Yo,
I hopped in my little car and I was out of there.
Yeah, you needed to become an owner of your own business. Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, that's what made me kind of, I thought I was lazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it was a long time working at jobs and I hated the feeling. I was just like, bruh, what? You know, you got that manager that's dumber than you. You like, man, this dude's stupid too. Like you, I used to be like, man, I really asked myself, like, man, am I lazy? What's wrong? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, and then after a while, I remember because Marvin, it was Marvin, our dude Black, Sean Black, man. They was already entrepreneurs, so I wasn't there yet. I was still working, and we did have conversations and stuff. And Marv used to cut hair and stuff, so we was over on our friend's house, and they were just talking about business. And I'm like, man, I'm about to try this, man. I got to do something because I can't keep working. And if your family, they're not entrepreneurs, people around you, they never done it. They just don't know anything about not working for nobody. So, and I'm like, man, but I don't want to work for these people. I felt out of place. I felt lazy. I felt ashamed, all that. But then I guess it was meant to be. I was like, man, I can't do it. And then after a while, in my first full year of not having a job, like I was tripping. Oh man, I really didn't work for nobody this year. This is crazy. So it make you go harder and harder and harder. But I know that first time leaving to really just be a full-time entrepreneur, man, I was so scared. Oh my God, I was freaking out. Like, where the money gonna come? I ain't got no money. Ain't no more checks. They done took the car payment out already, rent out. I got $80. It's a wrap. I'm about to be out on the street. I ain't know. But it turned your hustle up for sure.
Sometimes you gotta rob Peter to pay Paul for real.
What
entrepreneur life? I mean, like he mentioned, I was a barber. let me backtrack. I was never a barber. I mean, I can cut hair. But I'm not a barber. I am not a licensed barber. But this is how crazy this was. My last business, to go back, I was a caregiver, and I was taking care of people with disabilities, and just kind of seeing a need at that time. Again, going back to seeing a need for and creating a solution to a problem. A person just wanted to get out, but it was difficult for them to get out to a barbershop in the community. So I was like, look, I'm gonna cut your hair. How you feeling? Good, looking good. We can go out somewhere. Man, this dude, after I started cutting his hair, putting designs in it, this dude started buying glasses. His whole get up got different. He talking about, let's go to the mall. he changed a whole different person. But then the company also noticed that as well. And it went from just him, or it went from him to now I'm cutting about 12 people's heads and giving them the same effect. But then that was me transitioning into, okay, maybe we might have something here. So what I started doing then is going to barber school. Well, I was thinking at that time, do I need to go to school to become a barber? But then, as a person, you're going to max out of how many people you can cut in one day. I'm always thinking about an enterprise of how I can scale this thing national. So I was going to barber schools and pitching this. You fresh out of school, I got you a whole different clientele. I can get you in these facilities to cut this set amount of people's heads. You're going to have guaranteed clientele coming fresh out of school. It's going to give you an opportunity to learn and refine your skills and go on and be better barber, stylist, whatever you wanted to do in that field. So we ended up getting like 9 state contracts throughout Ohio, different facilities. I would go to barber schools in like Cleveland, hire people for those contracts, Cincinnati, hire them for those contracts, and just place people all over. And then I would just kind of get the contracts and they would do the service. Thing was, some of these barbers were, you just learn people. You learn when you start hiring people. Some days they ain't want to come in.
Tearing them people hairline up.
So we had not only contracts for the like DODD, we had contracts for DYS, which is juvenile correctional facilities. Mm-hmm. And that's a different story, because if you don't get them kids hairline together straight, or you cut their waves off, it's a whole different problem. It's nothing business related. You about to start a whole riot within the juvenile correctional facility. So yeah, they almost came after one of my barbers. Long story short. So that's what I had to step in.
Well, let me get out of this business.
Listen, that's when I stepped in. No, again, I don't have a barber's license. They can see it, whatever. I don't care. I'm not in the field no more. But I stepped in and was just cutting everybody's hair and kind of leveling the whole thing out. Like, look. He mean well, he trying to learn, he doing this and that, cutting them up, getting them together, learning their story. And that was me just, not just giving them a service, but having a conversation with them, because most of the time they don't have these conversations, especially in the juvenile correctional situations that they're in. But that was another thing, and just, really providing a service, selling a product. It's more than that. Sometimes you really got to be transparent, vulnerable, and level with people, and just have a conversation with them and see where they are, meet them where they are, and just yeah, man, and try not to cut their waves off, or it's gonna be all bad.
Well, that's a good thing you decided to move on to that career.
Yeah, so
yeah, I think that was really bad.
Yeah, that's what's crazy though, because I mean, when I think back to this journey to now, yeah, I didn't necessarily restrict myself. Well, I need to go back to school to get this. Yeah, I could have, but then I was always thinking, okay, if it's restricting me to get to a certain thing, think outside the box of how I can continue moving forward or keep the momentum going. Same rules apply to what we dealing with now. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's always about keeping that momentum going, thinking outside the box, coming up with solutions, moving forward. But yeah, I never had a license, and I was in these facilities cutting heads, and that could have been a major fine or whatever consequences could have came my way. But instead, it was a lot of impact that came from that, because I remember kids getting out of the juvenile correctional facility, and I ran into one at Wendy's one day. It's crazy. I ran into the kid at Wendy's one day in Cincinnati. He like, "Oh, Green, hey man, I just got out." And then he started telling me a story, and he said, "Man, because of what you were doing, I'm going to barber school." Like, he wanted to change his life. It's like stuff like that is like, man, that's why I do this. So it's also to go back to advice. You really got to have a why. It can't be money, because money is going to go up and down, whatever. That's never something to just base off or base, what you're doing or why you're doing something, but have a why. Like, you really want to impact people's lives. You want to create something years later, hear that person or customer or client, whatever it is, come back and tell you the story of how you changed their life from a simple conversation. So stuff like that, man, it's amazing to kind of, encounter situations like that.
For sure.
So do you guys see your product going into any stores? I know with all the stuff that's going on right now with this boycotting Target and some other places and stuff, I don't know, but do you guys see your product going into any stores in the future?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I would say yes. We would love to do that, because we do want everybody to have access to our product. Okay. We just have to put ourselves. Right now we're still growing, and we just want to make sure that the price margin and everything are good for the client to be able to receive the product without without any without overcharging or anything like that. So we're in a position where, like, we have a few retailers that have reached out, like, hey, we'll take you guys on, but we got to make sure that we can handle it, and we don't want to disappoint. So that's really our main thing right now. We trust us. We can go to every single store right now and do that, we would do it. But it's just like we gotta slow roll it. But trust, yeah, we coming though. We definitely coming though. It was. I mean, even in regards to scaling, like we really want to be an international brand, like across the world, just not here in the States. We want to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Leafy Products will be across the world, like all the way.
There's some stuff in the works now, so it's
Yeah.
happening.
I believe you. I believe that. I believe you guys will go further. First of all, you guys got very good people skills, and that is important. That is very important because I'm not going to purchase something from somebody that's see, I don't really, with the little attitude, because I'm already there,
Yeah.
that kind of attitude. You guys got very good people personalities.
Thank you.
And that's good.
No, we want to. Oh, go ahead. I was going to say we just want to. Again, everything we do, create, speak on is hopefully inspiring the next, person to do what it is that they, are chosen to do or have been thinking about doing. We just hope our words can encourage you. Story can encourage you. Pitfalls can encourage you to just keep learning and push forward. Like Chuck said, it's scary, but when you jump out there, you gotta kind of put it on a scale and outweigh, the scary or the rewards that can potentially come from, or the rewards of you not doing it, or the reward,
regret.
The regret of you not doing it, and then the reward of you doing it and jumping out there, off the porch and just creating something that could potentially hit. And now you not only taking care of yourself, but your family, your friends, everybody in your circle, potentially, and your community as well. So
also, even when you do it scared, the second time you do it, you ain't gonna be as scared. I think people, like, you got to do everything. Like, yeah, you scared that first time, but that second, third, you like, all right, man, all right, I know what's up. Like, you know what I mean? It's only so many times you're gonna stand there and be like, I'm scared of this. No, I ain't scared of this no more. All right, let me be scared of something else. That's how I know I'm growing. If I'm scared of the same thing over and over and over again, I ain't going. I ain't trying. I ain't really putting my best foot forward. So every single time, if you ain't got nothing new that you scared of, you ain't trying to grow.
Yeah. Yeah, when I first got started on my podcast, I was the same way. I was scared. This was something totally different for me, and it all started out with a lady asking me to do her show, and I did her show, and I just one day I just decided, I said, next year I'm gonna start my own show, and I said, but I didn't know what I was doing because I'm not computer literate. So I just I'm like, oh no, I ain't gonna be able to do this. And I could just hear my sister just as clear as day. And she just telling me, my sister passed away in 2019. And she was telling me everything, what to do. I'm going through this computer and I figured it out. And my friend said, girl, how did you figure it out? I said, I don't even know. I can't even begin to tell you what I just did. But she told me what to do. And I said, so yeah, anything is possible, you got to go out, you got to get out there and do it. And I was nervous as crap. I didn't know what the heck I was going to do. But I've been doing it for like 3 years now.
Yeah,
that's what's up. Congrats on that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep, I had to give myself a little break just recently, and I just came back, and I'm like, okay, let's get this going. So I've been doing like going out to places in the city of Chicago, or I've been going to the actual places of business and doing interviews that way. And I'm still accepting interviews on through StreamYard, but I do a lot of going to the places now too. So
okay.
So where you plan on taking this?
As far as I can go. And I got so many ideas that I want to take the show to another level, Yeah. So I want to be next to, you hear me, you know how you hear Ricky Smiley show and stuff like that. Yeah, you'd be like, oh, that's the Laura Simmons show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you're already in Chicago. You kick that Oprah joint off.
You said what?
He already in Chicago. He would go ahead and do the Oprah. Go ahead
Yeah.
and push it to Oprah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, Jennifer Hudson is trying to. Well, that's what she seemed like she going in that Oprah Winfrey area.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
seemed like because that's the feel I get from her show. When I watch
Uh-huh.
her show, I see the Oprah Winfrey in there in her. But
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell people again where your social media platform so people can go and check you out.
It's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. The handles are at Get Leafy Products, GET, like Get, and then Leafy Products, LEAFY Products, PRODUC, or PRODUCTS.com.
Mhm.
But then also you can go directly to our website, which is www.getleafyproducts.com. But yeah, shoot us a message, follow us. Like I said, we got big news that we're about to drop here soon, about the whole equity crowdfund campaign coming up.
Mhm.
We've been partnering with some international nonprofit companies, Face Africa, which helps to build sanitation areas, bathrooms, in Libya for tribes that don't have access to bathrooms. So we're helping to build these bathrooms for them and supply them with Leafy products.
That's good.
Um, so yeah. Not only are we doing stuff here in the communities and giving back to different businesses, we're also trying to, again, not necessarily trying, but we're also sending, and creating this same impact internationally. So that's where we are with that.
That is good. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm just so happy for you guys. Man, this is awesome, y'all. Y'all
Yeah.
doing y'all thing, and it's gonna expand. Just it's gonna get even bigger. I remember telling somebody else that on my show, and they was like, "You think so?" I'm like, "Yeah." Now they doing really good for themselves. They products and stuff is doing really good, and they
That's
was
what's
like,
up.
they said, "Dang, why you? Yeah, that is so cool that you said that." I like to, speak stuff. I like to let stuff
Mhm.
manifest for people. I like to see people succeed.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Your
Mhm.
show is going to do the same. So
Yeah.
Yep.
same as how you speaking on us, we speaking on you. It's going to go big.
Yeah.
Just keep stick with it and keep inspiring.
Yep. Thank you so much.
For
Mhm.
sure.
And guys, yeah, you guys gotta y'all gotta come back and keep me up to date with y'all new products and stuff, because
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I love to share people's information and things like that. But so I'm gonna make sure that I put in the comments your website so that people can go to your website and purchase your tissue. Because I'm gonna even purchase it myself. Yeah, because I seen it last night. I was like, your prices are not bad at all.
mhm.
Actually, yours is actually cheaper than the competitors,
Oh yes.
which is a good thing.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a really good thing.
We
So
Mhm.
got
yeah,
some better options coming as well.
Oh yeah.
For we're still working on it. We don't want to say the numbers just yet.
okay.
But we are working on a 12 pack and a 24 pack 2 ply as well. So
Mhm.
um, to make available to certain price points to help everybody out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We listening to everybody too.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, when you're coming out with paper towels, facial tissues, things like that. We actually do have facial tissues. They're not on the website for purchase right now. They're
Mhm.
kind of going through beta testing through our hotel partners. Um,
Okay.
that way, they're using them constantly. All their customers are using them and getting feedback. That way, we'll be able to know, um, do we got another hit product that we can kind of release to the public. So stay
That's
up to date on that, or stay tuned for that, and we'll be having facial tissues and paper towels as well. Um,
Mhm.
yeah,
okay. So how supportive is your families?
very
Very.
supportive. Yeah.
All the women in our family was the one that gave us the reviews on how good toilet paper was. We knew they was going to be real critical. So we were like, all right, let's see what they say. If they like it, we probably got something. The men, they'd be like, yeah, it's toilet paper. It is what it is.
I was gonna say my mom is one for, well, everybody's very supportive, but my mom is like very supportive. I go to her house. She lived by herself, but she has about half of our supply in her house. Like, Mom, why are you buying all this toilet paper? I mean, I appreciate you, supporting your son, but why do you have about 35 boxes of toilet paper? You don't need all of this. So yeah, she's very supportive. She gives it away to friends and family.
Yeah, because she's telling everybody, my baby's selling this. My baby's product. That's what it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or maybe she just waiting for another pandemic, and now she already got 30.
You already said.
And now what I thought was support was her just stocking up on her side hustle, because now she's gonna double up the prices.
You're gonna be knocking at the door talking about, girl, you got any that tissue you get?
Yeah, I got a lot.
That's what kind of commercial you need to do. Now somebody knock on the door talking about, girl, you got any of that leafy tissue? That'll sell that product. I guarantee you it will. Oh, yeah. Let somebody crazy do it too. I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
But yeah, you guys keep up the good work.
Thank you.
If you guys are looking for somebody for marketing, I got somebody for y'all.
Okay.
Very good too.
Okay.
For sure.
That's what it's about right there. So,
yeah, exactly. And we look out for each other, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Thank you for tuning in to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and Friends. And remember, tomorrow's not promised to any of us. So live your life to the fullest. And remember, put God first, and everything else will fall into place. All right, guys, I'm out of here. It's your girl, Laura Simmons. Peace.
Views and opinions expressed in this program are those of our guests and do not necessarily reflect Freedom Productions.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and Friends. And I want to thank my guests for coming out. We really appreciate you guys being here tonight. And thank you. Y'all have a good one, okay? And all God bless y'all. Keep it up. Keep up the good work.
You as well. You as well.
All right. Good night.
Good night.